Voting. The people wait to learn who will replace beloved outgoing President Luis Inácio Lula da Silva. Well, heading into the election, surveys indicated Mr. Lula da Silva's successor would be his former cabinet minister, Dilma Rousseff. She could get enough votes to avoid a runoff with her closest rival, Sao Paulo Governor Jose Serra. Well, initial results show Rousseff with an early lead, and now Shasta Darlington is following the story from Rio de Janeiro. She joins us now with the latest. And Sasha, any more on those early results?
Well, Anna, as you said, Dilma Rousseff is in the lead. She has almost 44% of the vote, but that still falls short of what she wanted, and that's because she and President Lula were hoping that she would get an absolute majority in this first round of voting to avoid a runoff. And all of the polls leading up to it show that she would squeak by with just over 50%. So while we don't have the results yet, it looks like she may fall short. And some people are saying that could actually be seen as not so much of a victory for her. It could be seen as some people questioning whether or not she's really the person to follow in President Lula's shoes. And up until now, she's been a little-known politician. She was the energy minister for the president, then his chief of staff, but she's actually never held elected office. And there have been these questions about whether or not she really created a persona, whether or not she really put out there what her proposals would be, or whether she was just riding on the coattails of the president. And if we see this going to a second round, I think it will be pretty clear that she needs to get herself out there more, that she needs to define what she stands for. However, at the end of the night, even if we do end up going to a second round, I expect that we will get some victory speeches from Dilma Rousseff, as well as the runner-up, Jose Serra, who may come in stronger than initially expected. And it's been a long day. You know, there are 135 million voters here in Brazil because it's compulsory. They've spent the day at the polls. The only problem is, of course, it looks like they may have to go back at the end of the month, Anna.
If Rousseff is elected into office, she will be the country's first female president. What else do we know about her?
Well, that's right, Anna. She'll be the first female president. She was actually more than 3 decades ago. She was a Marxist guerrilla during the military dictatorship here in Brazil. And it wasn't until after she'd been jailed for 3 years and apparently tortured that she decided to go back to school, get her degree in economics, and pursue a political career, but more as a public servant than as an elected official, as we mentioned before. From there, she's been a very efficient, a very pragmatic worker, but never somebody who stood out as a big politician. So this would be her first role on the sort of elected stage, a big role at that. But what she has said over and over again is that she's going to stick to President Lula's policies of helping the poor move into the middle class. We saw more than 20 million Brazilians climb out of poverty into the lower middle class during his 2 terms in office. That was 8 years. These are people who for the first time could buy microwaves, they could buy refrigerators, they could buy cars. And these are the kinds of people who are voting for her now, Anna.
All right, Shasta Darlington in Rio de Janeiro, thank you for that update. Well, it's time now for a quick look at the weather.